From this hour, I ordain myself loosed of limits and imaginary lines. In August of 1831, an elder in the Mormon Church, William W. Phelps, claimed to see Satan, the destroyer, riding in power on the face of the waters of the Missouri River. Joseph Smith, the founder of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, or better known as the Mormon Church, confirmed that vision. God warned him that Mormon missionaries are vulnerable to the evil one near bodies of water. For I, the Lord, have decreed in mine anger many destructions upon the waters. That revelation was recorded as scripture and became the basis for a rule that prohibited me, as a full-time Mormon missionary, from ever stepping foot on one of the many beautiful beaches in the country which I served. Australia. My name is Jordan Currier, and I was an elder. From 2004 to 2006, I went on a mission. I went for many complicated reasons, but mostly I was terrified of being gay. Social, cultural, political, and religious pressure had convinced me that being happy and having healthy relationships simply wasn't possible for people like me. But I've known with perfect clarity since the age of 13, earlier than that even, the truth of who I am. A 2-year mission was a perfect way to run away from that truth. After years of being closeted and depressed, it felt healing to reinvent myself. I created a character that felt acceptable to society. I put on a very comfortable costume. I even believed it. All of it. A mission bought me time. If I was serving God and the church, I wouldn't have to grapple with my sexuality. God might even mercifully make me straight as a reward for my sacrifice. And that was my most fervent prayer. Not that I could convert souls, but that I could convert myself into the perfect male archetype. I've had conflicted feelings about my past life, but I compartmentalized it for so long that Australia has felt like a distant memory. My husband and I decided it was time to return to my former home, to revisit that past life. Nearly 2 decades have passed since my first journey to Australia. I was 23. I was terrified. And as I took my seat on what would be the longest flight I had ever been on, I prayed that God would comfort me in my solitude and uncertainty.
Here. Come join us on a perch. You alright? It's like This is us sailing into Sydney Harbor.
Hey, I'm being filmed.
Howdy. G'day.
G'day.
Jordan Currier.
G'day, Koba.
How you doing, mate?
Well. Elder Nielsen. Posing for photos. Hi.
If I abandoned love, I'd be a man without dreams. Ooh. I'd rather be out there staring death right between its eyes now. I can still hear the sound of you crying through the night. There in the opera house with no one else for my yours. Ooh, I was meant to love you and always keep you in my life. Ooh, I was meant to love you. I knew I loved you at first sight. Ooh, I was meant to love you and always keep you in my life. Ooh, I was meant to love you. I knew I loved you at first sight.
Some poor fainting, struggling seaman. May rescue you, may save.
Stop. Get one with the city.
And so, in June of 2004, my highly regimented new life, my ministry, began, and I had almost no time to dwell on my past life. I was living at peak religiosity. I had a temple recommend, which for Mormons is the pinnacle of their faith. And everything I did was in service to this empire that Joseph Smith created, a man who was not only my folk hero, he was my prophet.
Hello, everyone. It's Jordan.
Is that it?
On the wide open road, headed to Sydney.
For what?
Zone conference.
I made a bargain with God. If I lost myself in the work, he would miraculously render me heterosexual. After all, with God, all things are possible. It sounds absurd, I know. But perpetual fear, plus the power of groupthink and a healthy amount of self-loathing, often leads to absurd ideas. But I did manage to form some bonds, platonic of course, with a few of my companions. And I met fascinating people all over New South Wales. It was the me I thought I always wanted to be. Straight and virtuous. The Book of Mormon teaches, there can no man be saved except his garments are washed white. When I walked among people, I couldn't see their humanity. I only saw their frailties, their addictions, their obstinance, their lusts, their worldliness, their nonconformity, and occasionally their beauty, inside and out. In my cognitive dissonance, I thought I had all the answers people needed for eternal salvation and meaning in this life. I felt morally superior. This was a suburb of Sydney where I lived and worked. I walked up and down this boardwalk with copies of the Book of Mormon in hand, hoping to spread my delusion. In the hermetically sealed bubble of missionary life, there were times I truly felt asexual. But in quiet moments, the fortress walls I built around my queerness would come down. And I would know. I would remember. I would long for something more. When those feelings surfaced, I ran harder, faster, and further away. I guess I figured I could run forever. Nevertheless, I longed for happiness, intimacy, love. But I had spent too many years hating myself. And the damage that caused was nearly irrevocable. Newcastle was the first city I lived in as a newly minted missionary. At the time, I didn't appreciate the irony of this photograph, which was taken in one of the many Newcastle suburbs I worked in. New South Wales was once a penal colony. But in the early 1800s, the most dangerous convicts were sent to Newcastle to mine coal. You can almost feel the trauma of incarceration etched in the stones. Today, Newcastle is a beguiling place. A center of industry, art, and painful history. When I was a missionary, I only lived in Newcastle for 6 weeks. but so much time has passed that very little feels familiar to me. My husband and I had a short day and night in Newcastle to explore, and I tried to do so with a documentarian's curiosity. Almost 20 years ago, I saw this town as nothing more than a new proselytizing area. Today, I can see all its beautiful complexity. I left the Mormon church years ago, but it was still important to me that I visit the chapels in Australia where I worshipped. This was the first Mormon chapel where I attended Sunday services, high on a hill above the trees. In those first weeks in the field, I was questioning everything. But I adapted. I had no other choice, and coming home early from my mission wasn't an option. That would be like social suicide in the Mormon community. I had to finish what I started. I had to keep running from the truth, from myself.
You're just kind of wondering how you can improve, I guess, because there's so much I need to improve on. And I guess I get too frustrated with myself that I don't grow fast enough. And you can't force that kind of growth, I know that, but I guess I'm still trying to. And I have a lot to learn, and I just need to make sure that I don't let go of my motivation or my desire. I just want to make sure that I never lose that desire to work hard every day, because I know when I lose that desire, that'll be a dangerous thing. This is hymn number 335. 1 second. Brightly beams our Father's mercy. Brightly beams our Father's mercy from his lighthouse evermore. But to us he gives the keeping of the lights along the shore. Let the lower lights be burning, send a gleam across the wave. Some poor fainting, struggling seaman, you may rescue, you may save. Okay, guys, I guess I'm going to end my tape now because we got to go to the post office and send it. So, love you all, and I'll be sending you another tape real soon, okay? Bye-bye.
Show me all the good lies, what you keep locked up inside, in a small frayed moment, appetite finally waning. Come by any time, took the last one when you looked away. Cycles of thoughts tumbling in a bitter rush.
definitely be a different member of the church when I get home after the Lord's mission, because I've learned a lot of important things about how to fellowship and how to truly be an active member of the church.
Jesus Christ told his disciples to go into all the world and teach all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints seeks to fulfill that great commission of the Savior by sending missionaries to all parts of the world where they are welcome. Currently, more than 60,000 young representatives of the Church are sharing the good news of the life and teachings of Jesus Christ in over 50 languages and in more than 160 nations and territories.
Many people who purport to be atheists don't like us coming to their doorstep because they think religion is an evil in the world. Not a good day. I've been depressed, and I'm so scared that depression is coming back to haunt me at this of all times. What should I do? I need to pray, but I swear I feel as if I don't know how. I don't fit in here. What else to say except that I want to go home. I feel low and worthless, probably because I'm a horrible missionary who may as well be invisible. I'm nothing to everyone here. Why am I here? Why am I not like Elder Wakefield? Could I ever be? What is my full potential? All go away. How can I feel again? I'm pitiful and hopeless and vile and stupid and ugly and insignificant, and I've got 2 more years to go. Always and everlastingly invisible to the world. Not a good day. I've been depressed, and I'm so scared that depression is coming back to haunt me at this of all times. A great time of healing. I need to pray, but I swear I feel as if I don't know how. I don't fit in here. My tongue and my mind are always confounded. I feel frightened, like I don't know where to turn. It's time to lose myself in this work, to immerse myself in the doctrine, and to love every minute of this, the Lord's mission. I'm totally alone out here. I'm worthless. I can't do this anymore. I don't deserve it. I am totally alone and no one notices. I want to be home so much that it hurts. Why has God forsaken me? I have never really felt the Spirit fully guiding me. It's just like I've been left on my own to a large extent. I got very depressed this evening with swirling thoughts of my own inadequacy and impotence. Page 151 of Preach My Gospel. So key, the following statement. Your attitude towards your mission is a reflection of your love toward your Heavenly Father and His Son and your respect for the priesthood. Ezekiel 33, 1-6. Have we done all we can do? Have we given the Lord an accounting every night? After all, it is His work. Hebrews 12:29. For our God is a consuming fire. For our God is a consuming fire. Where do you suppose these kinds of thoughts are coming from? 29. In a word, Satan. I'm cold, enraged, spiritually dead. I want to go home, take the badge off and throw it. I want to rail against the heavens and scream to God, why? Met yet another militant gay man who, like the last one we met, attacked our church specifically for persecuting. If one more gay person deems themselves members of some sort of repressed minority, I think I'll lose my mind. I think I'm going to go insane. I'd face the evil one. I was chained down. I was freed. I feel as low as I've ever felt since being out as a missionary. Where has the Spirit gone? I don't think my prayers have been answered. And the next fundamental question I'm asking is, why has God cut me off? Skills, attributes, doctrine. I pronounced the blessing and felt the power of the priesthood like I never felt it before, giving someone a blessing. Why am I not good enough? I can't come up with any explanations. I guess because my study still sucks, my teaching skills still suck, my planning sucks, until I can master those doubts coming from. I don't know why I've been asked to endure this trial or what the outcome will be, but I do know that unless I change my perspective, I'll be in big trouble. These tears I've cried. I feel a schism between my Maker and myself, of my own doing. Tonight I feel like I want to run away and hide from all of this whole kingdom, this whole religion. I fought all I can, now I just want out. I just want to return to living, because I'm no good to anyone here. I've had it. My faith, it's not strong enough to see me through. I'm over. I'm done. I'm not too sure how I'll get through this. I'm hurting so bad. I'm slipping fast. Heaven help me. God in heaven help me. Please. It's just too much to bear. I've stayed steady, but I've truly struggled more than I've ever struggled before. Why can't I ever be happy in my life? I can never, ever be happy or have peace for any length of time. Can anyone comprehend the loneliness of who I am and what I feel? It's isolation. It's imprisonment. I need to really talk to God tonight. I need to feel His love. I need His. This mission is nowhere in sight. My desire is disintegrate. I so desperately need Christ's guiding influence. I feel like a lifeless machine. No joy in what I'm doing.
Our representatives maintain a strict code of dress and a high standard of behavior in accordance with Christian principles. They are instructed to obey all local laws and be responsible citizens. They spend their time seeking out those who are interested in learning about the eternal truths taught by Jesus Christ and teaching them about those beliefs and doctrines that comprise our faith. Those who are interested in investigating our church are invited to attend worship services and meet our people. Those who wish to join the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints are accepted into membership through baptism by immersion, as were the believers of Christ in Bible times.
We continued our journey up north to the Blue Mountains, another one of my former proselytizing areas. In Mormon missions, an elder or sister can potentially get transferred to another city or town every 6 weeks. Transfers were always stressful for me, because just as I found my footing, I'd get moved. New city, new companion. The move to Katoomba in the Blue Mountains was a particular shock for me. I had never seen or experienced any place quite like it.
Goes to Lithgow, first stop Mount Victoria.
It's bitterly cold in the Blue Mountains. And many nights, the towns and villages get blanketed with fog. Like Newcastle, the streets are full of fascinating characters and storied buildings that sag. When we spotted the local post shop, I knew my old flat was just around the corner. Surprisingly, I found it by memory alone. Breathtaking vistas were only minutes away from where I slept. The Blue Mountains were haunting, and I was haunted within them. Strangely enough, as a homesick missionary, it started to feel like home. But the depression persisted. It was here in Katoomba where I was called by my mission president to be a trainer. Trainers are the senior companions to brand new elders. I was to be mentor to a new missionary from Sri Lanka. He was thin and visibly terrified. He spoke very little English, but he was able to tell me plainly that he had tried to take his own life 3 times. In a perverse way, he was a diversion from my own internal struggles, and my internal struggles were not that much different than his. He was sent home after only 4 weeks. Before he left, he wrote me a note apologizing for not being a good companion. And he said he loved me, and he wrote some words in his native language that I've never had translated. In many ways, he was as terrified as I was. He just didn't know how to hide it. Unlike me, I became adept at hiding. He cried himself to sleep every night. I never heard from him again.
It is. Why keep the sweet
Little has changed in the Blue Mountains since I was here last, including the chapel where I attended Sunday services. Painted white, symbolizing purity.
So we have lots and lots of inactive work to do in this ward, like way more than I was doing the last ward I was in. It's pretty amazing that so many people would forget about their priorities like that and fall away, but they do. So we have heaps and heaps of inactives to visit.
It was in the Blue Mountains, in a rare moment of childlike wonder, where I saw snow falling from the sky for the first time. Mormons called moments like that tender mercies from God. Then and now, I could feel a sort of ancient energy in the land. I felt it summoning me. The awesome beauty of Australia is something to behold. When I lived here in the winter of 2005, I could only glance at the mountains during rare moments of contemplation. I was so busy praying and planning and knocking on doors and proselytizing and prevaricating that I never had a chance to simply stop and take in the sheer wonder of the country I was a guest in. I'm glad I got to correct that.
standard of truth has been erected. No unhallowed hand can stop the work from progressing. Persecutions may rage, mobs may combine, armies may assemble, calumny may defame, but the truth of God will go forth boldly, nobly, and independent, till it has penetrated every continent, visited every clime, swept every country, and sounded in every ear.
The measure of our success is how many have really come unto Christ. The adverse indicators are how many are unbaptized, unordained, unendowed, unsealed, unnourished, uninvolved, and unrighteous.
Come on, ye scattered sheep, and listen to your shepherd.
What makes being a gay person in the Mormon Church so impossible can be boiled down to a single issue: marriage. The LDS doctrine on marriage, which they view as an eternal covenant made with God, is central to every teaching, every missionary effort, every ordinance performed, every temple built. It's only valid between a man and a woman, of course. And to be binding in this life and the next, it must be conducted in holy temples, where only worthy church members with temple recommends can be present. And temple recommends are only issued to those living every commandment to the letter. Mormon marriage is a circle I couldn't square. I'm decidedly homosexual, therefore, the kind of conventional post-World War II nuclear family that the Mormon Church lionizes doesn't work for me. Which means no exaltation, the highest form of spiritual attainment a Mormon can strive for. If you aren't exalted, you cannot be a god in the eternities, which means you cannot make spirit babies with your wives and populate the planets that you'll have dominion over. My only option would have been a lifetime of celibacy. Serving a church where you do not fit is a lonely and othering experience.
Lovely. I'm getting video of it. Isn't it beautiful? You like it, Elder Terrify?
Love it. Love it.
One of the last areas where I served my mission was in Coffs Harbor, home to some of the most stunning beaches I've ever seen. Coffs was the furthest north of Sydney I ever got, about a 7-hour drive. A very small congregation of Mormons lived there, so they started to feel a little like family to me. At that point in early '06, I didn't fathom the challenge that awaited me on the other side of my mission. I didn't appreciate the fact that my future was hanging in the balance. didn't realize back in those days what I have fervently come to know now. My life is my own. I know now that fear of persecution and marginalization are not valid reasons to subvert my identity, my passions, my curiosities, my voice, my dreams. But I do understand why I felt the need to hide. I thought I was keeping myself safe. When I was a missionary in Coffs, I boycotted God by not praying for long stretches of time. Being closeted had taken a toll, and maintaining the missionary veneer became trickier. If someone had told me back then that I could be happy as an out gay man, away from the trappings of a religion that deemed me inferior, I might have made different choices. But after nearly 20 years of reflection, I've determined that every single choice I made, no matter how painful or misguided it was at the time, has led me to where I am today. Rick Rubin wrote, "Taking a wrong turn allows you to see landscapes you wouldn't otherwise have seen." I am so grateful I have come to know and fall in love with this incredible country. But the final stage of that 2-year mission in Australia, that wrong turn in my life, was a difficult hurdle to overcome. Door-to-door proselytizing, or tracting as Mormons call it, became more and more mechanical. My door approachers were said without feeling. "We are missionaries from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints with a message about the restored gospel to share with you." And we'd more often than not be cut off with the curt, "not interested." I was almost 25 years old, and I was close to disappearing forever. And then, in a flash, the mission was over.
Because I have been sheltered, fed by thy good care, I cannot see another's lack, and I now share my glowing fire, my loaf of bread, my roof safe shelter.
I was honorably released from my calling as a full-time missionary in June of 2006. After being released, I was lost in the wilderness, not sure what role to play or where I fit. Once I took the badge off, the saintly, heteronormative pretense crumbled, and my truest self began to emerge. My human need for intimacy could no longer be stifled. I felt angry a lot, and introverted. I'd tried dating women, but the depression soon turned into suicidal ideation. In the fall of 2009, I finally found the courage that the Mormon Church had stolen from me. I came out, breaking down the closet door, and that saved my life. Not long after my tumultuous coming out experience, I met Nathan, the man who had become my husband. We got married not long after it was legalized by the Supreme Court. We exchanged our vows on the beach, where I was no longer vulnerable to the power of Satan. Everything I once thought was impossible became possible. Love, intimacy, authenticity, acceptance, validation, all of it. I came out to a few friends from the mission, but most of them universally rejected me, and I lost touch with all of them. It took years, but I finally got to show Nathan where I served my mission. This time, I got to be authentically me, without any judgment of myself or others. After exploring New South Wales and going as far north as Coffs, we reached the boundary of my mission. But we kept pressing forward to parts unknown. When we arrived in Byron Bay, it occurred to me, like rays of light flooding a darkened room, that finally I had found the healing I had long sought. Byron Bay is idyllic. The people around me seemed content and present in the moment. There was music, sunshine, and warmth. And beauty all around. There was sand I could finally sink my bare feet into. And I told myself, I deserve this. Not long after I abandoned the men I thought were prophets, I discovered a true prophet, the poet Walt Whitman, who once wrote, "From this hour, I ordain myself loosed of limits and imaginary lines, going where I list, my own master, total and absolute." Listening to others, considering what they say, pausing, searching, receiving, contemplating, gently, but with undeniable will, divesting myself of the holds that would hold me. I inhale great draughts of space. I did not know I held so much goodness. All seems beautiful to me. I can repeat over to men and women, "You have done such good to me, I would do the same to you." I will recruit for myself and you as I go. I will scatter myself among men and women as I go. I will toss a new gladness and roughness among them. Whoever denies me, it shall not trouble me. Whoever accepts me, he or she shall be blessed. and shall bless me.
Who do I run from? Who do I run towards when the sunlight hits me? I'm cold and you'll see. Who do I turn to when I'm not part of you? When the sunlight hits me, I'm cold and you'll see. I'm cold. You know it's not your fault. 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 To be the first